Hey everybody, coming up on Sports Central, we have some exciting action, some world-class water skiers. Frank Tiano with Monster Planes. Nobody better on the planet than Frank, and some great local information, state and national. This is Sports Central. This is Hank and Mark. Check this out. We'll be back right after this. Everybody, welcome to Sports Central. I'm Mark Jackson. To my right, Hank Longo, my co-host. And Hank, I've been on
all over the place.
Unbelievable. But
really
yeah, I haven't been on Sports Central a little bit, but you know, it's good to be back.
It's good to have you back, and because we always have fun. That's what makes it so exciting.
Well, it's a lot different than having Neil Duncan here. You know, Neil Duncan.
Well, we got the A-team back.
Yeah, well,
Sports Central.
Give the kids a chance, but they just. I don't know.
Well, hey, we've got a great show going on, and I'm going to bear with me a moment while I go through my notes to get on page one. And thanks Bright House Networks, our sponsor for this very segment on Sports Central. So thanks, gang.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, we have a great opportunity. I said it just a couple of minutes ago, maybe more like a couple of seconds ago. Frank Tiano from Monster Planes right here in Polk County, a thriving business. Monster Planes? Well, what is that? Frank, you're with us. Once again, we're always glad to have you because you bring wit, wisdom, and a bit of comedy with you. But one of the things we were looking at a little bit earlier in the today, before the show, a picture of a plane, and it weighs 125, 30 pounds, something like that. Not your typical radio-controlled airplane or jet. I mean, this thing was huge. You had a 7-year-old. In fact, you've got a picture of it. I don't know if we can get a shot.
Zoom in on that.
You hold it up, Mark.
Yeah.
Since they're keying on you because you're so handsome.
Yeah, here, this will improve your picture, everybody. How's that? Well, this young lad that I'm looking at here, 7 years old, standing next to this plane. I'll show you one more time. See if Russell can zoom in a little bit, but hopefully cutting.
There we go.
There we go.
You're looking better all the time.
Oh, there we are.
Look at that.
Monster Planes USA. I got to make sure I have it straight here. But anyway, coming up, what is the 25th, 26th, and 27th of October? I mean, this is really unbelievable. These are giant scale RC planes that weigh up to 125 pounds.
Yes.
I mean, you could put a person in there.
You almost could, almost. But they are unique in many ways. This particular one, there'll be two of these. There's only 3 in the country. It's a model of a P-47 Thunderbolt from World War II. It has a 400cc engine in it. 400 cc's. It's something you put on a. I remember my first motorcycle was only 600 cc's. I mean, so I mean, maybe an old BSA 650, right? 30 years ago.
I mean, now, just for the audience, what does a plane like this cost?
Well, I don't want to scare anybody away from this hobby. This is unusual.
I know, this is unusual.
This is custom made. We custom made molds, and that's about $30,000.
Oh my god!
But that doesn't mean you have to spend $30,000 to get in this hobby.
No, you can spend a couple $100 bucks.
Couple $100 bucks or less.
Hobby.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what makes this event so interesting. People come from all over the country with trailers full of stuff like that. I mean, 4-engine. Remember the old TWA Constellation with the 3 tails years ago as an airliner? There's a guy bringing one of those. It's a 16-foot wingspan, 4 chainsaw motors. I mean, it's just incredible the stuff they have there.
Where do they get this stuff? I mean, it's not like you walk into
no kits.
Walmart or something and pick one up.
No, right. You're right, Mark. These are guys probably my age that semi-retired, and they.
You know,
spend
40,
2
45 years old.
Maybe 48, and or 50 like you know.
You're about 10 years off
like
that one.
Well, I know. I know his Social Security number is 11. I know that. But anyway, they get a set of drawings and they blow them up and they whatever they do and they make their own parts and they make them. At that level, they're not balsa wood anymore. They're fiberglass, carbon fiber, metal. You know, because they're so heavy, and the engine's so big they got to stay together. And balsa wood would just
Just fall
fracture.
apart on it.
Exactly. So
Now you've got chainsaw motors in this one particular plane.
yeah.
Is that something you have to go start the chainsaw motors
Well, yeah.
first?
When you think about it, the chainsaw motor, and they never quit. You know, I mean, you then they run. So instead of doing this, we put a propeller on the end of the crankshaft, and we do this. And they run. And they run forever. I mean,
Oh
you
my
can't kill them.
gosh.
You know, and they're like 40 or 50 cc's each. And you put 4 of them on, you got 200 cc's, and they turn maybe a 20-inch propeller at about 7,000 RPMs, and it's,
And how fast will it
7,000
go?
RPM?
yeah, when you put a propeller on them, they're not geared down like they are for a chainsaw, because they're not biting into a
That's right.
a piece of wood.
Okay.
But a plane like that's not meant for speed. It probably runs around 65, 70 miles an hour.
Okay.
This one, the big
big
one, there happened to be one of Lakeland's finest out there one day. We were test flying it, and he had a radar gun, and he said, just let me see how fast it'll go. That's not a fast airplane, but I did take it up, and I come out of a dive, downwind, so the wind is with you.
Yeah.
It was 130 miles an hour.
Oh
that
my
big
gosh.
tub was 130. But we have some of the jets that are coming where they're not quite that large. They're about 10 feet, and they're running at 200 miles an hour with a real turbine engine.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
Frank, I've always wanted to ask you this question. Well, and it's sort of a question and a statement in the same breath. There's the recreational side of radio-controlled aviation, but then you have the competitive side. There's a lot of people who don't know that it's a very competitive sport. Is there a sanctioning body that governs how these competitions are run? I mean, is like under the United States Olympic Committee, you have Group A sports that are compete in the Olympic Games, and then you have the Pan Am sports that they aren't necessarily lesser sports, but they're not officially an Olympic sport. In this particular, in each case, there's a governing body. USA Water Ski, for example, is one of them. United States Tennis Association is one in tennis. How about in radio control?
yes, but it's not just for radio control. It's all of Aero, AERO modeling. It's called the Academy of Model Aeronautics. Funny, AMA, like the American Medical Association.
Yeah.
But it's 300 and some thousand members. And the nice thing about that group, they've been around for, oh my goodness, 80 years. You do get a sanction, as you said, like you probably did for water skiing. You buy a sanction. The nice thing about it is they allow you to buy insurance for the site owner. Several $1 million insurance policy. God
Okay.
forbid something would happen,
Yeah.
So each member is insured automatically, and then on top of that, if you get a group of them together and have an event, you set it for like $30 or $40. You can buy the additional insured. So we're all covered, yeah. And knock on wood, nothing serious usually happens. But I remember last year at this event, there was an indignant guy that must park his car right up on the flight line. And I go down there in a golf cart. I said, you know what? Get it out of here. You can't park there. Something could happen. And he goes, oh my goodness. I was going to have a fight with the guy. I said, I'm telling you, something's going to happen. And for sure, tomorrow you're not parking here. Do you know that an airplane lost its battery and spiraled in and hit the guy's door? And they called me and said, we have an accident down here. I go up to the golf cart. I saw what car it was. I said, perfect. You couldn't. I said, what do you think now?
So, you got the point, huh?
Well, nobody else ever parked there, for sure. I mean, no one ever does that. And I swear.
The one time it happens.
It was, but especially after just leaving the guy saying, don't do that. And then getting snotty with me, I am doing it. Like, who are you? Well, that's who I am. Anyway, we have
You don't have one of those big old bombers that you can slow down
Oh,
there.
stop
with a little
it.
machine
They'll be locking me up. Be careful about that. If I may,
Yes.
the event runs from about 9 o'clock in the morning till about 5 in the afternoon. There is a charge to get in, but then we now give a free pit pass. So and parking is free also. So you pay your $10 admission. Kids under 12 don't pay anything. Easy to get to. You park right up real close. You don't have to walk a mile or anything. And you can get all through the pits. You can get right up to the tents where the airplanes are. It's really nice. We started something last year. We're going to have again this year. I built a 12-foot lightly loaded airplane. That means it's very light, not a scale model. and we have a big Bombay in it, about this big, and then we have a top load. We open up a thing on the top. We fill it full of candy, wrapped candy, of course. We call it the Candy Bomber. And we fly it around. We get at like around noontime. We get all the kids, 10 years old and under, up on the line, and we just say, okay, the bomber's coming across. And when we tell you to run out there, and this thing drops 10 pounds of candy. So there is candy.
Gosh.
I mean, it's like ants. They're everywhere. And we turn loose these little kids. They're running out there screaming and yelling, and they're picking up candy. And it's the highlight of the event for me. It's just so much fun to see like 70 or 80 children running out, picking up, they're looking for it in the grass. And then we have demonstrations. We stop for half an hour and we show the jets, because that's something people don't normally see, the jet, and we said we have a World War II gaggle. We put up 15 or 16 World War II airplanes at the same time, mixing it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's we don't try to hit each other.
They're like fighters and bombers and all that stuff?
Minimum,
And they're all
minimum
flying
size,
together out there?
minimum size 90 inches, so about 8 feet. Weights around 35 pounds. We get 14, 15, 16 of them chasing each other in a racetrack pattern, and it's exciting. It really is.
What fuels these planes?
At that level, gasoline.
Okay.
Gasoline. I'm using aviation gas myself, because regular gas has ethanol, is it?
Ethanol.
In it, and that kind of eats the seals and the
The
rubber
seals
and
and
some of the
rubber,
engines.
yeah.
So a lot of guys are using aviation gas, and it doesn't smell either. So if you're carrying your car to get it to smell, and the turbine engines use jet fuel, regular JP4, or jet
really?
fuel. Yeah.
There's a it's not a new product, but it's a product that's being developed. There's a company out of I can't remember if it's Fort Collins or Boulder that produces. It's a manufacturer, and there's others now, but it's called Gevo, and they produce a product called isobutanol, and it's an additive like ethanol is.
Yes.
Okay, and it can be made out of any sugar-based product and this type of stuff. But the product itself, this isobutanol, does not eat away at the gaskets and stuff like that.
Oh.
And they're looking for inroads into Florida, primarily in the Tampa area, and I believe there's 11 gas stations that some company owns that they're going to be introducing it, here in Florida. It's really an interesting concept, something to keep your eye out for.
I know the boaters go crazy because of the ethanol. I mean, you see a gas station say no ethanol, and the boaters are like lined up there, for that reason.
Frank, for somebody that just wants to come out and watch this and they get inspired by it, how can they pursue it? What would they do to go about getting involved in
The easiest
sport?
way is to walk into any hobby shop.
Like Hobby Lobby or something
Hobby Box, Hobby Town. There's 2 or 3 right here in Lakeland. But any hobby shop, and just say, you know what, I want to get started. They usually will give you the name of one of the club members. Our club, the Imperial RC Club, has 6 or 8 guys that all they do is train kids to fly for free.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, they'll tell you what to buy, and then they'll meet you out there on whatever day you want, and they'll give you an hour of instruction or 2, whatever it takes. And if you want to continue, you continue. Any age, 8 to 80, it doesn't make a difference.
Wow.
Frank, we've got about 15 seconds left. So the event itself, okay, is October 25, 26, 27. So just in a few weeks here. But just as important, what's your website so people can go on, check out to see what's happening, they get
It's
more
my name.
information and so on?
My name, Frank Tiano, like a piano with a T,
Okay.
TIANO.com.
FrankTiano.com.
But if you were to type in monsterplane.com, it would somehow get there.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. Well, thanks a million for joining
Thanks for
us.
having me.
Always great having you on the show, Frank. You make it so interesting and entertaining. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everybody, Polk County is arguably the amateur sports capital of the world. Winter Haven just recently held their annual Get Rowdy swim meet. Get Rowdy? Well, as in Rowdy Gaines. 3 gold medals, and Rowdy, of course, announcing some of the Olympic swimming events this past quadrennium, this past summer. Anyway, we have some great action, and some great action indeed from some of the state's finest youth swimmers. Check this out. Hank and Mark will be back right after this.
Haven Stingray swim team is hosting a swim meet at Rowdy Gaines Olympic Pool here in Winter Haven.
This is our first meet of the season. I'm from Lakeland Area Swimming. We have kids from the ages as young as 6 all the way through 18. We have our little kids swimming here today. This is the first meet of the short course season. So we have about 20 kids swimming today. Some of them, a lot of them for their first meet ever.
We're over here. We brought 40 swimmers over, and we're having a great time. Actually, they start here and they get best times, and they try to make flag cuts, and they actually just go on from here to flags, which is the highest you can get in the age group.
We have 538 entered swimmers, 23 teams, one of which is from Costa Rica. The other teams are from throughout the state of Florida, as far as Stuart, Orlando, Tampa.
Well, I've been coaching swimming now for almost 18 years, and I actually was a swimmer at George Jenkins High School and for the City of Lakeland Aquatics.
We have teams representative from Polk County. That would be Lakeland Area Swimming and T-Bay Lakeland Area Aquatics. And of course us, the Winter Haven Stingrays.
This sets the stepping stone for the kids for the rest of the short course season, which will run through March. So this is where they'll set all their beginning of their season times, and then we'll go from there to try and improve them and work hard to improve their strokes.
Anyway, the event is run from Friday night. We started last night, went through the big storm last night right here in Winter Haven. It was quite eventful. And events continue with older kids swimming in the morning and younger kids swimming in the afternoon, both Saturday and Sunday.
And this has helped the kids, become strong, cardiovascular, stays in shape, and it gives them an individual but yet a team sense.
And welcome back to Sports Central, everybody. Mark Jackson along with Hank Longo for segment number 2.
And this segment is brought to us by our sponsor, Hall Communications. Thank you so much. And do a lot of neat things with Hall Communications.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Great partnership there. Our Sports Central that we do, that you and Chris Keprios do on Thursday nights, that's very highly ranked. And
Actually, Mike Steinmack, who's a football coach at Haines City, they just took him to the hospital.
no.
Yeah, like 15 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
With chest pains.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I think it's probably that
keep
burrito
Mike
he
in
had.
that.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, yeah, it went great. In fact, in a 32-station market, it's really interesting. People are interested in Polk County sports and this, that, and the other. This show, also called Sports Central, on WLKF 1430 AM from 5 to 6 on Thursdays. During that drive time, has been in the top 5 or the top 10 in a 32-station market.
Very good.
I mean,
You
that's
guys
just
do a great job.
Yeah, it's
A lot of fun
unbelievable.
stuff you talk about.
Well, it's cool, and plus give away prizes and stuff, like prizes.
Yeah.
Yep, snacks.
Gotta have that bonus there.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we have a special guest.
lovely
One
guest
of,
we
oh,
have.
yeah, one of your my favorites too. You know, we used to work
Definitely.
out together.
Lucky you.
That's the way I roll, man. You just gotta. How you doing, Jennifer?
I'm very good. How are you?
Good. Jennifer Montague, but she'll yell at me because I can't remember her married name now. So that's okay. Might as well get that out of the way
That's
first.
okay. I'm used to it. It's Gallagher.
Gallagher.
I'm Mrs. Gallagher. Thank you, gentlemen.
Mrs. Gallagher, so nice to have you on the show.
It's great to be here. It's been a while.
How do you like married life?
It's good. I think I'm good at it.
Are you?
Yeah, so far.
So far, so
Yeah,
good.
there's no handbook. I just kind of rock on.
Crack the whip.
That's right. I'm doing things just fine. Thank you.
Right.
Girl,
Good stuff.
girl.
Lots of stuff going on at Fantasy Flight. I was
Man,
just out there the other
October.
day. You know, had a blast on the zip line.
Yeah,
That
I
was
don't
a
think we
gas.
got a chance to talk about the Wing Walk Air. That was the last time I was here. I think we were still building it last September.
Yeah.
And now it's been a year, and it's really popular. We've had lots of team buildings coming out, and just want to see all those monkeys climbing on that monkey bars, I
Well,
call
there's a
it,
whole
with
thing, you know,
ropes.
we
It's
were
hard
up
to
there.
explain.
Yeah, we actually had the whole staff out
Yeah.
there. And, you know, doing what we were doing, and there was a family out there on it, and I talked to the mom, and she said, oh yeah, we're from Columbus, Ohio, or someplace like that, and they had 3 kids and mom and dad and all this. Oh, we're just having a ball out here. This is so cool. Da, 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 da. I mean, it was like 90 degrees or something like that. It was hot.
You just
as
try
could
and
be.
zip to get a breeze.
Yeah,
going.
and it's like, oh wow,
fun.
that feels good.
It's fun.
Yeah, but it was a ton of fun. And then you know you can do all sorts of other stuff and.
Yes. Well, in October, I mean, this is our biggest month. We've got something right now. We're loading in for Boy Scouts Camporee.
Okay.
The rain hasn't helped that, so I told them to bring some scuba gear this weekend. But
lots of
we've
off.
got we've got American Heritage Camporee coming out this weekend. Next weekend, we've got our Legends and Legacies Symposium series, the last one for this year.
Okay.
And that is Letters from Home. And
What's that about?
That has to be
yeah.
touching.
yeah, it's the first time that we're doing this topic, and we had really hoped that people would send in some of their letters if they had kept them for all these years, or their parents' letters, and we only have a few. So I would love to see more. You know, we said please copy them and mail them, and don't send us your originals or scan them in, but they're just the way they wrote to each other. You know, I have one from a son to his father, and I have one from dating couple.
Oh, really?
And they're just so sweet, and I just can't wait to hear more about, from this panel. And it's just really, what kept the home fires burning, and what kept, the encouragement and the people overseas fighting at that time. We're really focused on World War II stories in Vietnam.
And during that period to do that brings such a romantic aspect to that period, but things weren't quick.
No,
I
right?
mean, you
and
couldn't
weeks.
fax something and it would be there. You couldn't text somebody and it would be there. You couldn't even call them, really.
No
So
Skyping.
for the time for this letter to be written and to get to that person,
And they're just pages.
and the anticipation
Yeah.
of getting that letter, and that's why they used to write so many letters back then,
And
just
beautiful.
to keep them
It was really an
inspired,
art.
encouraged, and
That's actually when they used to use cursive. They don't teach kids that now.
I just learned
I
that.
was
I'm
like, really?
horrified. Yeah, I can't believe that they won't be able to write their names and write those letters. And I know Kim Long, who our general manager, she's such an old romantic. So for her, this is
Kim Long is?
Yeah. Well, she's very private about it. Don't tell anybody. She is
let me
really.
let you know that.
Wow.
But she, that whole era and that the art of the letter and the English language, and it really is beautiful. And I want more. I want
It's
more.
when reading between the lines really meant something.
Really?
Yeah, it's
It was. I'm excited for this one because again, we hadn't touched on this topic before, so it'll be interesting.
What are the dates?
Oh, it's next weekend. Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't know. 13th and 14th. Is that
Yes.
next weekend? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm lost. I'm actually in California for it. I'm going to AOPA.
Oh, are you?
By the time just flying by.
I know.
Oh,
and then we
pretty
roll
soon it's
into we've got
almost
Night Flight
Thanksgiving.
and Halloween and paintball's coming again.
Yeah.
We love that. It's like the circus coming to town. So in the middle of all this, we have tents coming up and
And
telephone poles.
This is
and
a huge event for people. If you haven't been out to this event, it's gigantic.
Thank
and
God we
it's-
sit on so much land. We
I
sit on
know.
250 acres, so we can have all the simultaneous things going on at the same time without conflicting.
And the Paintball World Championships is out there for how long?
They are out. Well, the build takes over a week, but competition is
Building meaning they have this
all the-
props to set up
yeah,
and
yeah,
all
the-
that
the
junk.
course-
So they're from
Courses.
like the 25th to the 28th is the
Mhm.
competition.
That's Saturday and Sunday. That's when the heat starts. That's when all the eliminations are going underway, and they're going, drilling down to the actual
This is a big
champion.
deal for Fantasy Flight, though, isn't it? I mean, there's
we
a lot of people.
love it. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah. We see between 5,000 and 10,000 people over those few days that come to our property.
Yeah.
They're not coming necessarily to the attraction, but any exposure. Once people get to us, and that's one of
They've gotta go.
our challenges. They go, what is that? We pass you. Well, once you show up, you get it. It is
Mm-hmm.
definitely a must-see attraction, and that's one of the benefits of this event. When people say, "Oh, you know what? I heard that's going on. Let's drive on out there and see it." And it's quite
And it's
quite
a
an
worldwide event. I mean, this is the World Cup
Yeah.
of paintball. And people, I mean, there's a new thing, too. Airsoft. That's, I guess it's something like that, where they shoot something at.
The paintballs are different. It's
Yeah,
sort
I
of
think they're smaller. I don't know. My kid plays. He just loves it. Hunter. Just
Oh, I can
absolutely.
see
He goes
Hunter
crazy
playing.
over this.
Yeah.
Buddies go out, they just disappear into the woods and shoot each other, I guess. I don't know.
That does not
That's
sound
exactly
fun for
what
me,
they
but
do.
people. I'd rather not. I guess maybe if you did it in a mall or something and we got to hide behind. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
not my thing. But
Yeah.
I
How do you
love
like this
watching it.
suit?
It's exciting, right? Throwing mannequins at each other. I don't know, but it's fun. We love it. I'd hold one every weekend.
And when you go out and watch it, if you're not familiar with this sport, I mean, the strategies they put together and how they all work together and have
Yeah.
to get their locations, and it's
All their
it's
code-
very,
What are the dates
code
of that again?
words?
It starts the
The
competition
25th.
The 25th. The
Through the
competition.
28th.
So it's the same weekend as the Monster Planes that Frank was talking about a little bit earlier. So you do one of
okay.
both. Yeah, a lot of cool
a lot of stuff
But
going on.
this World Cup, you can go out and you can buy stuff because there's bazillion vendors.
Oh, it's
out
a trade
there,
show
yeah.
as well. Yeah, it's not just the competition. It's the best gear in the world for this sport. So they'll come in and they'll drop tons of money on new gear and new guns and
Yeah, some of these things, like I saw this one chrome gunner. It was like $5,000 for the
Paintball gun?
paintball gun. Yeah.
And we have
where's your
security
Mac
out there,
Daddy
so don't get
Maserati.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we've got a good deal of security on just to make sure, because again, these they're trade show vendors, trading, buying and selling, and
Yeah.
that stuff going on. So, but they're great. Again, it's international, so you've got kids from all over the world, not just kids, but
Mainly
Gaucherie.
adults, yeah.
fully fledged adults coming out and shooting each other, and it is really cool. It's very strategic, and those buzzers go off, and then you're
Yeah, what's going on here?
yeah, screaming, no, blue, blue. I have no idea what's happening, but it's exciting.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
You got another one coming up, too. The paranormal...
Investigations
no,
or
what the-
night flight. I know you're skeptical, Mr. Jackson. I know, but if you've been to our place, first of all, our place is pretty
Spooky?
spooky in the daytime. If you go through the immersion environment, war is scary, so it has sort of like some of the bunkers, so you get
Yeah.
a little creepy anyway. But there are proven entities that
Hang out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jim's experienced it, Mr. Gallagher. Kermit,
Your
of course,
husband has?
he has. Yeah, he had a really hair-raising experience going through the FBO. He swore he saw somebody and went back into when he was closing up. It was at dusk or dark, and went to turn around. And
Visions of you,
It
probably.
wasn't. Go home. You gotta cook me dinner. No, I think it was some old man, but but he just kept walking. He was like, okay, I didn't see it. I don't know what I saw, but I felt something, saw something. But yeah, we've had paranormal investigators come in and actually.
Like Ghostbusters?
Yeah, more scientific. No slime, no traps, things like that. They gauge the temperature change in the room when there's a presence, and this is what the participants do. They go in. This isn't just a hey, let's go through a haunted house. This is a scientific experiment.
Really?
Where you're
And
actually trying to.
to see if there's any, when there's the temperature change, that means that there's
Something present could be, yeah.
So you think
Which
I'm
is why we do it.
skeptical?
Yeah, a little bit. That's why we do it in the fall, because we have to turn the air conditioning off because you don't want any kind and the noises that
Because
occur.
you want to have a
Yeah.
steady temperature that can change. That's
Yeah.
not altered by anything.
Exactly. See, you're open
I don't
to
know.
it.
I
You
think
should
I've
come
got
out.
ghosts in my house, actually.
Oh, I
so-
have had presence in
I
mine.
mean, I've actually
Some of your old girlfriend.
The ghosts of girlfriends past.
The ghosts of girlfriends past. I'd be headless if that was the case. Anyhow, just hearing voices, and I get up and I go, I must have left the TV on because it would wake me up, and I walk out there and no one would be around. I'm going,
Yeah, it's a real thing, and a lot of
Jackson
people
must
have
have snuck out the
experienced
back door. Anyhow, folks,
It's
moving right
real.
along.
Well,
It is real.
Yeah, we've got like 30 seconds left here. So the PSP paintball,
Yes.
25, 26, 27,
28.
best paintball people in the world. You can buy stuff. They have snacks.
Great time.
And it's a great family opportunity. Plus, you can
it's
go
free.
Yeah, and it's free. Then you can go to Fantasy Flight and check out all the new stuff. Maybe get on the ropes course and the zip line or whatever, and put Hank up there and we can shoot him with paintballs or whatever.
wow.
That'd be
Hank
awesome.
Pinata, yeah, you would do that.
That'd be fun. I'd be blocking them all
I do
off.
want to tell you about Veterans Day, though. We are having a Veterans Day celebration on November 10th and 11th.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we're going to be flying some really cool military aircraft. Kermit's sort of teasing me with the B-25 and the C-47,
really?
so I don't know what's going to be able to be flying, but that's just a little...
He likes to keep you off balance. so-
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, that's
yeah.
Kermit.
That's
You know, he
right.
gets a kick out of that. He just likes.
He's like a big kid, boy.
Yeah.
But hopefully the Mustangs will be flying. It's just, loud military aircraft in honor
Some
of our
the other night I didn't get a
veterans.
chance to talk to him, but he looks like he's looking good.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
He's doing wonderfully.
You know, I spent some time in California and doing some other stuff and all that type
He's
of
getting
thing.
honored at the Wings Over Houston Museum, I believe, a Lifetime
really?
Achievement
Oh,
Award.
that's a big deal.
coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a real big deal.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Great.
really cool. Jennifer, thanks a million.
Thank
Jennifer
you,
Gallagher,
guys.
everybody.
It's
Hey,
great. You got a show and your
there
segment
we
just
go.
flies by.
I know. Thank you so much.
It's one of those things. Well, we go from, I can't say this paranormal stuff. Anyway, bottom line is we've got some great footage coming up here in just a second from the Lakeland Linder Tennis Championships. I mean, this is really cool. Got some great footage. PGTV has some great camera people, and we're really excited and thankful that they get out and check out all these events. Here it is, everybody. Hank and Mark will be back right after this with more action and more special guests.
We have kids from all over the state come to play this. You have singles and doubles events, and a lot of good players from some academies around Florida, and local players come out to play.
Buenos días, estamos aquí en Lakeland.
We are here playing a tennis tournament in Lakeland. It's a super series.
Today I won my first match.
I'm playing 14s and I'm going to play only one match today.
I served very good and was very consistent with my forehand. Score was 6-0, 6-0. You have to make 4 points to make a game, and you have to make 6 games to make a set, and you have to make 2 sets to win.
I think around 170 kids showed up to play. It's good for the Polk County because a lot of the local players get more motivated to play the tournaments and brings a little money into the area, But we do the Super Series twice a year, and then we have 2 other tournaments in January and then in the fall.
I've been playing for 5 years, and I train at Gazar's Tennis Academy, which is down in Kissimmee. And I travel around and play nationals and designated. But whenever I do, I play here, and I really like it.
I'm trying to go pro right now. I played this tournament probably since I was 10 years old, and I won it a couple times in the 18s and 16s.
I really like this place. It's so nice and organized, and it sounds childish, but I like the park by here, and it's just really fun playing.
Pretty much, you start off and play futures, and you got to qualify, and they all over the world, really. Florida, all over America, Mexico, international. But right now, I'm going to try to stick in Florida and see if I can get going, you know.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. Mark Jackson along with Hank Longo and some great tennis action. Lakeland Linder Junior Tennis Tournament. You know, Hank, there's been an awful lot of tennis going on. I know Alex Bowes and his junior coach, Danny, just hosted a major tennis tournament out at Lake Region.
He did well.
Oh yeah, hugely successful. He's a former pro. I mean, he was ranked pretty high in the world, like 140th or something like that.
That's amazing.
You know, tennis is sort of making a comeback.
Yeah.
And USTA has really, along with the manufacturers, really stepped up a program called Play Tennis America. It's been huge. And so we've been real excited, real thankful that that's been happening. Tennis is a great sport. Of course, I had a Bobby Jean King and Pigs for Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. You know.
And you got to be Bobby?
Yeah.
Did you get a whooping?
6-0, 6-1.
You won or lost?
I lost.
I thought so.
Jen Myers, we've had on the show before, but, you know, I mean, she's a competitive tennis player. I hadn't played in 30 years and had a few, sitting around having a few beverages one night, and she was talking about all the tennis and said, heck, I haven't played in 30 years. And I'd still go out and beat you right now. I got spanked bad.
Imagine that. Yeah. Well, folks, anyhow, welcome to our third segment here on Sports Central, and thanks to the Ledger for sponsoring this third segment. And these are some fabulous guests we have.
You have the honors, because all I know is Kiwi and Igor. Yep. And two of the world's best water skiers.
Kyle Kiwi from New Zealand and Igor Morozov from Moscow, from Russia, has joined us on the show. And what's so neat is that Igor flew in from Russia for this great event. We're going to talk about the Rocket Man Night Jump over at Fluid Ski and Sports, which is behind the USA Water Ski AWSA headquarters over in Polk City, right by Fantasy of Flight. And it's going to take place on the 13th, next Saturday night. And if you want to go to one of the most thrilling spectator sports, extreme sports that you'll ever witness, you have to come to the night jump at the Rocket Man. And Kiwi, Igor, great to have you on the show. And Kyle, tell us about this great event and how exciting it's going to be.
Hank, we're looking forward to it. Scott Ellis and myself run Fluid Ski and Sports right there at Lake Rue, right by the Hall of Fame. We started the event 3 years ago. Last year we got rained out. We had a big event planned. We got rained out, had to cancel it. But we sort of built on that, and we've got a ton of the world's best skiers over this year. About 20 of the top open men's jumpers, about 10 of the top open women's jumpers, pros. And they're going to be going so far at Lake Rue, where we just can't wait for it. It's a great night. The preliminaries are during the afternoon. The night action starts around 6:30. We've got a ton of cash up on the lines for these guys, and some bonuses for some world records, which they're a long way, but they can be done.
Well, what's so neat about this event, the night jump, is, and you did it at the Dells, I did it at the Dells.
A lot of years of night jumping.
It's, you are skiing in the dark. There's a big floodlight on the jump so the skier can see the jump. There's a light where the skier gets the setup so that they can get their setup as they, cut out on the side of the boat to get ready to come to the jump. And there's a light on them, but it's basically you see these skiers coming out of the dark at 70 miles an hour to hit this jump and going 30, 35 feet up in the air, 230, 40 feet. Well, if they break the world record, there's some big money up for Gaff, but it is so exhilarating and it's so exciting. And Igor is one of the top jumpers in the world that's participated in these night jumps all over the world. What's it like once you get out there, different from the day when you can see everything? Your adrenaline gets going a little bit more?
Yeah, it's just much more scary, honestly. And exactly as you said, we're coming out of the dark, and you can hear the sound of 430 horsepower boat coming out first, and then the jumper going at 70 miles an hour, and it's just so much adrenaline, so exciting, scary, and it's such a great show. So, I mean, if you have an opportunity to come, it's also, we're going to compete not only for Rocketman Trophy, we're also going to crown a World Ski Fly Tour champion at this tournament for this year. So that's going to be really exciting. We have a big belt.
Well, you guys were still wetting your pants when this happened, but the first guy ever to go over 200 feet, Glenn Thurlow. And Glenn jumped 202 at the Mooma Masters. Yep. And that was, and on the Pro Tour, you know, Glenn, the Aussies are all, everybody loved the Aussies. You know, of course, you're from New Zealand. But that was many, many years ago, but it was done at night. And so when you're talking about world record possibilities, it's, you know, and I'm not sure why, Hank, because, and guys, you're the experts now. Is it because you have to concentrate so much on your technique and you can't see the other things going on, or what do you think? What's the reason?
Possibly. I mean, water ski jumping is as extreme as you get during the day, and at night everything's just elevated so much more. And these jumpers have to rely on their instincts, and you're right. You know, they just have to trust in their body and to do the right things. And we're going to have all the ingredients for huge jumps. We got the Nautique boats out there, 430 horsepower. One of the strongest boats in the market. We're going to be zipping these guys in as fast as we can, and I mean, we're just the adrenaline at night too. That's, you know, the heat of competition. When everything, you know, the money's on the line, there's this bonus up. Everyone's just going to be supercharged up, and that's what creates great performances. So, all the ingredients are there.
I want to talk about his equipment here. We've got it in here, and because I don't think people realize, and it's changed so much from the first days of the Pro Tour. And I noticed a fin on there. The last time I saw, well, I have metal fin. I had metal fins on my jumpers.
I took my middle fins off. I used to have them, but if you hit the side of the ramp, which I have occasion to do, they don't break. And then you end up with the ski coming around your head, and out the front you go. So I put my plastic fins back on, so if I hit the corner, the fin breaks. So Igor, a lot of faith there, and you're not catching the corner with those aluminum fins on there.
We need to get it held up so that people can see how.
Stand up,
Russ,
Igor. Can we get a shot with Igor standing up, and just to see how big these jumpers are? I don't know if you can see the whole ski, but we're gonna, maybe we'll stretch it around this way. They're 90 inches. Is this a 90-inch ski?
Oh no, that's actually 94 inches ski.
94-inch
and we have two of those. And we have metal fins, no mistakes.
No mistakes.
But only for the best speed you can get, and a lot of tip pressure for the longest hang in the air, for the right aerodynamic position, so you can
what
get
you
more.
Folks want to think of is, if you've witnessed the Olympics and seen the snow ski jumping on the Olympics, this is how these fellas go through the air on their water ski jumpers, almost identical to see how you'd see a snow skier. And that's with the longer ski like this, you can lay out over the front and you have the support underneath you to be able to stay there.
Exactly.
One of the things I want to point out that I don't know if you can see this or not, but the bindings, these are Wiley bindings, and somebody has pulled these so tight and then trimmed them off here, okay, because you want your bindings. If you're a recreational water skier, you don't need them this tight, but these are so tight that I'll guarantee when these guys come in from a world-class performance, your feet hurt, don't they?
Yeah. You can almost take only 3 or 4 jumps and you have to go back to the dock.
And your feet get numb on you.
Yeah. It's just the stuff you know, it's just boom, like they've been in it for so long. But, you know, the width, too. Width doesn't look like it's changed too much over the last 20 years, but
no, the width hasn't that much, but just the length of the ski and the rocker in the ski and the way that they've got the skis to turn, especially at these longer lengths, and it's so important that after the ski turns and you get it on edge, it's stable, and you just stay and ride that edge and build up speed and pull from the boat all the way into the bottom of the ramp.
Yeah, that's really important, especially in the night. To have all in control.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, we'll set this back down and get Igor to join us again. And You know, the one thing about the night jumping, Kiwi, like we were talking, you rely on your instincts, and that is, you know, there's a rhythm to jumping. You know, when you come across the wakes, you get set up on your counter cut and get out on side of the boat to make that turn. You're doing that in a rhythm. It's just not you get out there, you wait, and then you cut. So you're really relying on that, you know, the feel of that. And then the other thing that's so difficult that you have to do is just to be able to relax and have faith in that, you know. And that darkness brings in that element of, you know, being able to relax and just, you know, rely on your...
Yeah, you'll see some guys, especially some of the less ranked guys who have less experience, come out. They're really tense on their first one. They don't trust themselves. It looks like they feel like they're going faster than what they are. They don't trust their timing. And then after one jump or two, you know, they'll start to relax, and then that's usually when they hit a big one off. And it takes a little bit. It's one of the hardest things to do in skiing is figure out how to jump at night and trust yourself to just relax and go with it, especially when you're going 70 mile an hour at this 6-foot ramp.
Guys, you're the two of the best in the world. One from New Zealand, one from Russia. What's different about skiing in New Zealand and Russia than the ski environment here? But give us a little insight what it's like. I mean, it's got to be different.
Well, obviously New Zealand, a very small country, but it's just a small sport in New Zealand. So we have some top skiers. Aaron Larkin is one of the top slalom skiers right now on the tour. We just don't have the depth. Here in Florida, you know, this is the capital of skiing, and Polk City, where we are, is pretty much the center of it.
Epicenter, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. There's just so many beautiful lakes around here. The weather's awesome year-round, so you just get so much more time on the water. It's a place to come train. So we get a fairly short season. I mean, our summer's decent, but it's not super long. We can ski a little bit during the winter, but what you'll find if you really start clicking and want to pursue skiing, everyone will come train here in Florida, and especially right around this area.
Now, people think of Russia. They think of Moscow, you know, wearing, you know, wool hats and all of that type of stuff. You don't think, but there's been some world champion skiers that have come out of Russia. I mean, some great trick skiers, jumpers. I mean, how did you get into it in Russia? That's just fascinates me.
Oh, well, it's a sport, and we like sport in Russia, so we try to do it all. But yeah, exactly, it's not an easy one, especially in Russia, where, you know, in New Zealand, they can almost ski through the whole winter. In Russia, it's 5 months a year. So you have to be really busy and then do really a lot of off-season training. So, I mean, that's obviously why I'm here in the capital of water skiing.
Russia's actually a little bit, Eagle's actually a little bit different from most Russians. Like, they're very, very strong in their trick skiing, and they in the winter they actually trick in pools. So they practice their toe tricks, and they're very, very strong in tricks. Not as strong in jumping, but Igor and another guy, Vladimir, is starting to come on, and there's some top jumpers coming out of Russia now.
That's some cool stuff.
Well, the jumping is, from my point of view, so much more exciting.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
That's you know. Well, you know, it was funny, guys, on the original Coors Light International Pro Tour. Rob Shirley, who started it with Mastercraft boats, the trick skiing wasn't included. It was just slalom, and jumping, and freestyle jumping, and those were the 3 events. And trick skiing per se, 3-event trick skiing wasn't included because he thought it was too boring. But jumping is thrilling, exhilarating. Of course, slalom skiing is fast. You know, a lot of technique. And
everyone can relate to slalom skiing too.
Yeah.
It's what you see out on your lake, just around the corner. But tricking, it's hard for a spectator to get the appreciation of how difficult that is.
Yeah.
It takes tons of hours, and it is exciting. It's fast especially when you know what they've gone through to do it, and especially with all the flips now. It's pretty amazing, but it's just hard to also the scoring perspective of it too, for spectators to understand exactly what's going on in the water. Jump's pretty easy. This guy jumped this far, this guy needs to beat him.
Well, years ago when jumping first started, they had
the style points.
The style.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time. But one of the other things that's changed, back in again, back to the first few years of the Pro Tour, 70-inch skis, 73. I had 73 in ski. These are 20 inches longer than that.
Inches longer.
Has that made do you guys think it's made a safety difference? Do you think these are safer skis than the old, 70-inch jumpers and 73-inch jumpers?
Definitely safer. I mean, people are going way further though, so you're not crashing as much. But when you do, that's a lot of material going through the air to start spinning you, and a lot of torque on your knees, and the injuries are bigger when you actually do crash. 200, back when you're going on the 73-inch skis, 200 was a long jump. Oh. Now 230, 240. A lot more speed, a lot more height, and those crashes
15-20% further.
Really hurt.
Yeah.
And we've actually, we've done ski flying before too, a few years ago in the past, which was crazy, and up close to 300 feet.
Yeah.
Which, again, didn't crash that much.
But when you
when it did, you knew about it.
Well, we've got to wrap this up. So, Igor, great having you here.
Man.
Looking forward to seeing you next weekend.
It's an honor to have you here.
Saturday
we
the
appreciate
13th
you being
in
here.
Kiwi, a legend. Great to have you joining us, and all you and Scott, the Rocket Man Ellis, are doing out there at Lake Gru and with Fluid Ski and Sports. And
information is all on our website, skifluid.com.
Skifluid.com. And your training out there is for 3-event and
yes,
slalom tricks and jump?
We run a water ski school year-round, 7 days a week pretty much, especially busy right now. All these guys coming to town, they'll be training there this week leading up to him, so if you want to pop by. It's a free night to entertainment. We've got a bikini contest. We've got demonstrations from Gino Yokla, who does all sorts of air chair, barefoot.
Sky ski, yeah.
There's going to be non-stop action, tons of giveaways. It's just going to be a really fun night. Like I said, it's free. There's VIP tickets available if you want to come have a good night, enjoy yourself.
And a benefit for the Winter Haven Hospital. For $10, you can get a ticket and try to win a Mastercraft boat for a year. Houston Motors and Winter Haven Hospital teaming up on that. So another great thing. So
actually, you get a chance to see both Correct Craft and Mastercraft. So that's a good thing. Yep.
Yeah. So guys, thanks for making it here to break up your training day here to come join us on Sports Central. Thanks so much.
Take this to this segment, and when you go up to the Wisconsin Water Ski Think Tank, that'd be a good promo.
Yeah,
especially for Fluid Sports. So, well, everybody, thanks so much for
hanging in there with us as we get ready for our update with Jessica.
Jessica Roberts and the local arts and cultural update. She is the guru of Polk County. Great information. Stick around. Hank and Mark will be back right after this.
Welcome to Local Update. I'm Jessica Roberts, here to tell you about some great upcoming events taking place across Polk County this month. Polk Museum of Art's annual wine tasting and blues concert is on Friday, October 12th. Red, White, and the Blues guests will enjoy Texas blues, great food, wine, and craft beers. This is always a fun and exciting party that you don't want to miss. Check out polkmuseumofart.org for details. Legoland, Florida will celebrate Halloween every Saturday and Sunday in October. Brick or Treat will be a spooky and kooky event featuring themed stations with candy, snacks, and a few surprises along the way. Haines City Parks and Recreation will host Stride for Fitness 5K and Wellness Expo at Lake Eva Park on October 13th. The 5K begins at 7 and the Wellness Expo runs until noon. Wellness screenings include cholesterol, blood pressure and skin cancer checks, and diabetes education. The Wellness Expo is a free event. Raymond Theater will host a Mad Hatter Tea Party luncheon on October 13th in Frostproof. Wear your funniest, wackiest, or prettiest decorated hat because prizes will be awarded. Proceeds benefit Cornerstone Hospice Services. Downtown Lakeland is celebrating World Zombie Day on October 13th with Zombie Fest. Enjoy live music, food vendors, a costume contest, pub crawl, and zombie walk. This is a free event. Platform Art is back with Art Party number 20. Enjoy fashion, dance, live music, short films, poetry readings, and more. Art Party 20 will be held at the corner of Bay Street and Tennessee Avenue in downtown Lakeland on October 13th, and you can purchase your tickets at platformart.org. The Ritz Theater in Winter Haven will host Twilight at the Ritz on October 13th. This is a fundraiser that will be glamorous but spooky and an evening of fun. Enjoy food, drinks, and music by the Brass Heart Band. If you remember when MTV played music videos, you're going to want to be at the Lakeland Center October 13th. The Cherry Pie Tour, featuring Warrant, Trickster, and Firehouse, will perform their Billboard hits with songs like Heaven, I Saw Red, Cherry Pie, Love of a Lifetime, and Surrender. This is going to be a great show, so get your tickets soon. Medium and clairvoyant Lisa Williams is coming to the Lakeland Center on October 16th to share her amazing ability to communicate with loved ones who have passed to the other side. Tickets start at just $39. The 13th annual Lake Mirror Classic Auto Festival begins October 19th. Friday night features a free outdoor concert and party on Lake Mirror, and you can enjoy hundreds of classic and collectible vehicles on display in the streets of downtown Lakeland Saturday and Sunday. This is a great event for the entire family. Bachtower Gardens' annual Bachtoberfest plant sale will be October 20th. This celebration kicks off Florida's gardening season and features live entertainment, German food, craft beers, and tree climbing, and children's activities. Free gate admission is included. Polk State College will host the 26th annual Fall Fest on Saturday, October 20th in Winter Haven. Thousands trek to the campus each year to enjoy a craft show, kids zone, live music, police and EMS demonstrations, a pumpkin patch, food vendors, and a haunted house. Fall Fest begins at 9. Enjoy a historic Lake Mirror walking tour on October 23rd in downtown Lakeland. The story begins during the horse and buggy days when people hitched their horses up at Munn Park while visiting downtown. The free tours are limited to the first 25 people, and reservations can be made through the Lake Mirror rental office. Safari Wilderness Ranch in North Lakeland is hosting the wildest fall festival in Polk County during October. Enjoy an African safari, petting zoo, free flight aviary, a pumpkin patch, and a fire pit. All of this is included with general admission. Buckingham Terror, Lakeland's scariest haunted house, is back with Dr. Paul Bear II and the Field of Fright. The tours are not recommended for kids under 10, and the haunted house is open from October 19th through the 31st. North Lakeland's Corn Fusion Corn Maze returns October 19th with a corn box, corn cannon, corn train, mini maze, pony rides, and more. The maze is open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday through November 25th. The 19th annual Dennis L. Fontaine Children's Classic Golf Tournament, benefiting Explorations Children's Museum in Lakeland, will be held on October 22nd at Lone Palm Golf Club. The entry fee includes your greens, fees, and carts, lunch and beverages, entry gift, awards ceremony, and post-event buffet. Well, this has been a quick, not so quick, glance at some of exciting events taking place across Polk County this month. For details about these events and more, go to visitcentralflorida.org and centralfloridasports.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, I'm Jessica Roberts from Polk County's Tourism and Sports Marketing Office, and I look forward to seeing you at some of these great events.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Sports Central. Mark Jackson along with Hank Longo. If you're just joining us, shame on you. Great show. Many thanks go out to our special guest, Frank Tiano, and of course Kiwi and Igor talking about water skiing, and the lovely Jennifer Montague Gallagher. I had to get that right, everybody. Yep. Well, Hank, we have some special
some
people
great
to thank.
Folks to thank. We want to thank the Ramada Inn Lakeland Hotel and Conference Center for hosting our final segment of Sports Central. Of course, all of our great sponsors, Parkview Hotel, Abuelos, Hyatt Place Lakeland Center, Best Western Auburndale, and the Travel Lodge North in Lakeland. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. And you can get more information about sports and sports in Polk County and, of course, other special events by going to visitcentralflorida.org or centralfloridasports.com. This is Mark Jackson. For Hank Longo, we'll be back October 19th with a new and a very cool, special show on October 19th. Make sure you check us out. Same bat time, same bat channel, everybody. Nonetheless, have a very safe and wonderful weekend. Again, Mark Jackson for Hank Longo and PGTV. Thanks to our production crew.
We'll see you again next time.